Grace Cooper is a freshman here at Gonzaga University. She is studying psychology and biology and also participates in Big Bang Theory, which is the a cappella group here on campus. She is a singer-songwriter and is well versed in several instruments, including guitar, piano, ukulele, and mandolin. And 3 years prior to coming to Gonzaga, Grace was the lead singer of a band called Wayward Soul that toured around her home state of Oregon and also has 2 albums on Spotify.
Sometimes we don't know where to go. Pockets are empty and all the signs say close. I'm getting lost, good Lord, I need to know. I guess I'll wait for the number. I'm gonna ask to hear the number. That's just so. Ooh. That's just so.
That's a difficult question to answer because I feel like I was just messing around when I first started songwriting. Like it wasn't something that I felt really passionate about. It was more of like a trial and error kind of thing. But I would say when I was a sophomore in high school, that's when the real songwriting started happening. And I was dating a guy at the time that I had a lot of like emotional turbulence with, good and bad, and since music was already such a huge part of my life, I turned to it to kind of make sense of what was going on. And then that's when I started expanding beyond like the boyfriend, girlfriend, sad song things and tried to incorporate all different kinds of emotion. Creativity is taking my emotion and bringing it to life through the art that I do, whether or not that's through music or through drawing. And I think that it makes it easier for me, if we're talking specifically about songwriting, it's easier for me to come up with a song or start a song when it's fueled by some kind of emotion. So if I went through like a hardship or I'm experiencing something really amazing in my life, I kind of use that emotion to fuel my creativity, just because when you have those emotions, it kind of acts as like a jump start to producing these pieces of art. So for me, I would define creativity as turning emotion and feelings from everyday life into art. Very frustrating. It's very frustrating because it's almost impossible for me to write songs or to make something when the creative process is not there. So when I experience that, I don't even try most of the time, because when you try to force something that's not organic, it's not going to be a good piece of music. It's not going to be a good piece of art. Your best, at least for me, my best work is when that creativity and that emotion is there. So if I know that I'm not going to make something that I'm going to be proud of later down the road, then I'm not even going to try, and I just kind of let myself take a break, take a chill pill, and then when I feel the emotion of life coming back again, that's when I get back to it and try it again. It's all about it's like roller coaster.
What do you do first?
Straight to the piano.
That's
step number 1. So I come up with the chords before I come up with the poetry for a piece of music, because I feel like it's easier to kind of make a melody after you have the music piece figured out. And so I just kind of go and I try to feel out chords that express how I'm feeling, and the piano's, it's so much easier for me to do it than like a guitar, just because I'm better at it and I know it better. And then once I kind of have a chord progression together, that's when I go back and I try to write words over the music to fit the mood. My goodness, Wayward Soul was my life for 3 years. My life. And I spent so much time with that group, writing and just creating. It was definitely the peak of my creative career in my life up to this point. And I think what it did primarily for me was when I entered the group, I was 15, and the age range was huge. The oldest person at the time was like 36. And I definitely had the least experience out of all of the members. So I just think being around those people who had more musical experience than me kind of provided a like mentor mentee relationship. There was stuff that I was the lead singer of the group, so there was stuff about singing in harmony and coming up with that I was really good at that they were less good at. But when it came to songwriting and coming up with chord progressions and composing pieces, they had a lot of knowledge about that. So I was able to practice and learn about kind of the nature of the chord progression and more like music theory through being in that group. So I think just in general, it caused me to have a little more experience in the area and kind of broaden my horizons instead of staying so closed in on writing like sad songs and having like certain chords and all this stuff. It just kind of opened up a lot of doorways to my creative process then and now in the future.
When I'm down